Have you ever woken up in the morning, feeling like you never slept at all? You went to bed at a decent time, your room was quiet, your body was tired, but still, you woke up groggy, sore, maybe even a little dizzy. Sound familiar? Now, maybe you thought it was just age catching up with you. Maybe you chalked it up to a restless night or one too many trips to the bathroom. But, what if I told you, it might not be any of those things? What if the real problem is sitting in your kitchen right now? What if that little bedtime snack you've been enjoying for years, the one that feels comforting, maybe even healthy, is quietly doing more harm than good? See, after 65, your body changes in ways that don't always come with warning signs. The food you eat before bed can directly affect your sleep, your heart, your brain, even your risk of serious medical events while you rest. That's right. One of the foods we're going to talk about today has even been linked to heart attacks during sleep. Now, I know that sounds scary, but I want you to hear this from me. This isn't about fear. This is about knowledge. Because once you know what to avoid, you can make small changes that keep you safer, healthier, and feeling more in control of your body and your sleep. So, let me ask you, have you ever felt your heart racing at night? Or woken up in a sweat? Have you noticed strange dreams, shallow sleep, or waking up gasping for air? You might not realize it now, but some of the most common foods, yes, even the ones labeled healthy, could be to blame. And we're going to break them all down, one by one. In this video, we're uncovering 8 foods that seniors should never eat before bed. And food number 3, that one's especially dangerous. It's been linked to heart attacks that happen while you're asleep. So, stay with me, friend. Because your safety, and your peace of mind, are worth every second. And while you're here, I'd love to hear from you. What's your go-to nighttime snack? Drop it in the comments. You might be surprised to find it on today's list. And if you care about living a longer, healthier life, or caring for someone who does, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. Here at Elderly Wisdom Guide, we talk about the things that matter most, because you deserve answers. And you deserve to feel well, every single day. Alright, ready to find out what could be hiding in your kitchen? Let's get into it. Let's start with one that catches a lot of people off guard, spicy foods. Take Mr. Thompson, for example. 82 years young, full of life, and proud of his legendary homemade curry. Every evening, like clockwork, he'd whip up a small bowl, extra chili, just the way he liked it. He'd eat it, smile, maybe watch the evening news, and head off to bed. But then, the nights changed. He started waking up with tightness in his chest, sometimes coughing, sometimes with a burning sensation crawling up his throat. At first, he thought it was just aging. Or maybe stress. But the discomfort kept coming back, deeper, sharper, more unsettling. What Mr. Thompson didn't realize, was that his beloved spicy curry wasn't staying in his stomach. See, when we lie down after eating, gravity is no longer on our side. And as we age, the muscle that separates the stomach from the esophagus, the lower esophageal sphincter, weakens. For seniors, it becomes much easier for stomach acid to creep upward. That's acid reflux. And when spicy foods are in the mix, it's like striking a match inside your digestive system. You might feel heartburn. You might feel a tightness in your chest. And here's the dangerous part, the symptoms can feel just like a heart attack. It's no wonder so many seniors rush to the ER at night, thinking their heart is in trouble, when really, it's their dinner. And still, many people shrug it off. Oh, it's just a bit of heartburn. Nothing serious. But when it happens over and over, it starts to chip away at your sleep. You toss and turn. You wake up coughing. You don't sleep deeply, and your body doesn't get the chance to repair itself. Night after night, that toll adds up. So, what can you do? If you enjoy spicy food, you don't have to give it up forever, but timing matters. Avoid chili peppers, curries, and anything heavily spiced at least 3 hours before bedtime. Give your body a chance to digest it upright, while gravity's still working in your favor. And if you still crave flavor at night, try gentle herbs like basil or parsley instead of heat. Because a peaceful stomach means peaceful sleep. And while spicy foods can leave you uncomfortable, the next one can silently rob your sleep and mess with your heart while you rest. I am talking about sugar. It feels so innocent, so comforting. A slice of pie. A cookie. Maybe just a little scoop of ice cream before bed. Helen, sweet, soft-spoken Helen, used to have a piece of peach cobbler almost every night. It was her treat, her routine, her little joy after dinner. Nothing big, just enough to satisfy her sweet tooth. But then, something changed. She started waking up multiple times a night. Her dreams were strange and vivid. She'd toss and turn, wake up in a sweat, and by morning, she felt like she hadn't slept at all. Her doctor asked about stress, medication, even her mattress. But no one asked about that one little dessert. Here's the truth, friend, sugar doesn't help you unwind. It wakes your body up. When you eat sugary foods before bed, your blood sugar spikes, which triggers a release of insulin. That spike sends a signal to your brain that it's time to do something, not rest. Your heart rate may increase, your brain becomes more alert, and your body starts working overtime when it should be slowing down. It's like hitting the gas pedal, right before you try to park the car. And over time, those nighttime sugar hits start to throw off your entire sleep cycle. Your circadian rhythm. Your natural sleep-wake pattern gets confused. Blood pressure may rise during the night when it should be falling. And instead of entering deep, healing sleep, you hover in a shallow, restless state. But here's where it gets even more concerning. Repeated sugar spikes at night have been connected to increased inflammation, nighttime blood pressure spikes, and even irregular heartbeats in older adults. And yet, it's so easy to think. It's just a cookie. It helps me relax. But it doesn't. It tricks you into a temporary comfort, while quietly disturbing your body's ability to rest, restore, and protect your heart. So, what can you enjoy instead? If you need a little something before bed, try a warm cup of chamomile tea, unsweetened. Or a small banana, rich in magnesium and potassium, both of which help relax muscles and promote better sleep. These gentle choices can satisfy your evening cravings without putting your body on high alert. Now, sugar can rob you of rest. But the next food on our list? It can rob you of much more. In fact, it's been directly linked to heart attacks during sleep. Let's talk about the one food seniors should never eat before bed. Processed meats. Sliced ham. Pepperoni. A couple strips of bacon before bed, maybe a few bites of sausage left over from dinner. It seems innocent enough, right? Let me share a story I'll never forget. A gentleman in his 70s, let's call him Mr. Randall, started waking up in the early hours of the morning with a tightness in his chest. Not pain, exactly. Just pressure. A squeezing feeling that made him sit up in bed, short of breath, unsure if it was serious. He went through all the usual tests. His heart looked okay. His oxygen was fine. But one day, during a casual conversation, his doctor asked, "Do you ever eat anything before bed?" And that's when the light bulb turned on. Every night, around 9:30, Mr. Randall would make himself a small plate of crackers and bacon. It was his comfort ritual. Salty, satisfying, and something he looked forward to all day. But here's the danger: processed meats are loaded with sodium and saturated fats. And for seniors, that's a double threat, especially at night. The sodium causes your body to retain water, raises your blood pressure, and makes your heart work harder. The saturated fat thickens your blood and slows circulation, just when your body is trying to rest and regulate. Put the two together, and you've got a perfect storm: at the worst possible time. When you're asleep, your blood naturally flows a little slower. Your heart rate dips. But if your blood is too thick, and your pressure is too high, that slower circulation becomes a danger. This is why processed meats have been directly linked to increased risk of heart attacks during sleep. Especially for older adults. And here's the misconception, it's just a few slices. That can't hurt, right? But it's not about quantity, it's about timing. Even small portions of salty, fatty meats before bed can quietly raise your nighttime blood pressure and stress your cardiovascular system while you sleep. So, what should you do instead? If you like a little protein before bed, try low-sodium turkey slices. They're lean, gentle on your system, and even contain tryptophan, a natural amino acid that can help you feel sleepy. Or go for a small handful of unsalted nuts. They offer healthy fats, magnesium, and a calming effect without spiking your blood pressure. Now, I know giving up bacon at night might feel like a sacrifice. But giving your heart a peaceful rest? That's worth so much more. And speaking of blood pressure, there's another bedtime food that doesn't look dangerous, but it can throw your system completely off balance in sneaky, subtle ways. Let's talk about something that's probably sitting in your fridge right now, coffee. It feels like a little luxury. A warm cup of coffee in the evening. A little pick-me-up after dinner. For Margaret, it was her comfort. Her joy. She'd say, "It reminds me of when I was younger, working late nights. I'd sip it slow and feel sharp again." Even in her 70s, Margaret held on to that routine, just one cup of coffee around 6 p.m. She believed it helped her stay engaged, energized, and connected. But soon, she stopped sleeping. Her nights were long, restless. She'd lie in bed with her eyes wide open, listening to the clock tick, feeling like her mind just wouldn't shut off. She tried lavender oil, she tried soft music, nothing worked. What she didn't realize? That one evening cup of coffee was still working against her body, hours later. Caffeine doesn't just vanish. For most people, it stays in your system for 6 to 8 hours. But here's the catch, seniors metabolize caffeine more slowly than younger adults. So while a 30-year-old might burn through a cup of coffee by bedtime, someone over 65 could still have it circulating in their bloodstream well into the night. That gentle jolt of energy becomes a brain that won't settle down. A heart that won't slow its rhythm. A mind that stays alert long after the lights go out. And here's the mistake many people make. They switch to decaf, thinking it's completely safe. But decaf still contains caffeine, sometimes just enough to disrupt your natural sleep cycles if you're sensitive. So, what's the fix? Cut off caffeine by 2 p.m. Earlier if you can. That includes coffee, cola, black teas, and yes, even dark chocolate. If you love a warm drink at night, go for something caffeine-free and soothing. Valerian root tea, lemon balm, or even warm oat milk can calm your nervous system and prepare your body for deep rest. And remember, good sleep isn't just about falling asleep. It's about staying asleep and waking up restored. Now, you might think you're in the clear with healthy options like fruit. But even something as wholesome as an orange can quietly sabotage your sleep. Let's talk about citrus fruits. They're not as innocent as they look. James was a picture of discipline. He walked every morning, stayed on top of his doctor visits, and loved fresh food, especially fruit. After dinner, he had a habit, peeling a juicy orange and enjoying it with the evening news. It felt clean, fresh, and good for him. But every night, he'd go to bed feeling bloated. A strange burning would creep up his chest. And in the early hours of the morning, he'd wake up coughing or needing to sit up. At first, he blamed the pasta, or stress. But then he noticed, it only happened on nights he had citrus. Here's why, citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, and even pineapples are highly acidic. For seniors, especially those prone to acid reflux or GERD, these fruits can trigger that burning, uncomfortable sensation in the chest and throat. As we age, the muscle that keeps stomach acid where it belongs, the lower esophageal sphincter, weakens. That means when you lie down after eating acidic foods, that acid can travel up, causing heartburn, coughing, and even disrupted breathing during sleep. Now here's the part that trips people up, but fruit is healthy. And you're absolutely right, it is. But timing is everything. Just because something is good for you doesn't mean it's good for you right before bed. So, what's a better bedtime fruit? Instead of citrus, try a banana, which is naturally calming and helps relax muscles due to its potassium and magnesium. Or a few slices of pear, which are low acid and easy on the stomach. These give you a sweet treat, without the bitter consequences. Now, we've talked about foods that cause discomfort, heart strain, and acid reflux. But the next one? It messes with something even more precious, your memory. Let's talk about the food that quietly fogs your brain and fragments your sleep, aged cheese. She couldn't understand it. Every night, just as her eyes began to close, her dreams would twist into something strange. Not scary, exactly, but vivid, disjointed, and exhausting. She'd wake up feeling like she hadn't rested at all, even though she'd been in bed for a solid 8 hours. It took weeks before she realized the pattern. Each time she had her favorite late-night snack, cheese and crackers, the dreams would come back, stronger than before. It wasn't a coincidence. You see, aged cheeses like cheddar, blue cheese, Swiss, and Gouda contain an amino acid called tyramine. Tyramine stimulates the brain, increasing alertness and triggering the release of norepinephrine, a hormone that raises your heart rate and keeps your mind active. This chemical reaction doesn't just make it harder to fall asleep, it can lead to more intense, vivid dreams that disrupt your REM cycle, leaving you feeling drained the next day. And here's where it gets tricky. People often assume any dairy product is calming. We've all heard the advice, drink warm milk to help you sleep. But not all dairy is the same. Aged cheese is stimulating, not soothing. So, what's a better option? If you enjoy a small dairy-based snack at night, try a glass of warm milk, low-fat Greek yogurt, or even a soft cheese like cottage cheese in moderation. These contain tryptophan, a compound that can actually help promote relaxation and drowsiness, without the mental roller coaster. But if you think that's surprising, wait until you hear about the so-called healthy habit that might be ruining your sleep in a whole different way. It's time we talk about protein shakes and heavy nighttime protein meals. George was committed to staying strong. He read that seniors need more protein to maintain muscle, and he wasn't taking any chances. So every night before bed, he made himself a big protein shake, packed with powder, almond butter, and milk. It seemed smart. He figured, this will help my muscles recover while I sleep. But what actually happened? He'd go to bed feeling full, a little bloated, and strangely alert. And in the middle of the night, he'd often wake up sweating, or needing to use the bathroom. That's because heavy protein, especially in shake form or dense meals, takes longer to digest. And when you're sleeping, your body's digestion naturally slows down. So instead of resting and repairing, your system is working overtime trying to process that late-night load. And digestion isn't the only thing affected. Studies show that a heavy protein intake close to bedtime can reduce your time in REM sleep, the phase where your brain heals, processes memory, and truly restores itself. It's a classic case of good intentions, bad timing. Many people believe protein is always helpful before bed, but too much of it at the wrong hour can have the opposite effect. Especially for seniors, whose digestion has already slowed with age. So, what should you do? Stick to your protein earlier in the day. Enjoy hearty breakfasts and lunches with lean meats, legumes, or eggs. At night, aim for something light and balanced, like a small serving of vegetables, a little complex carbohydrate, and maybe a calming herbal tea. And now, we've come to the final item on our list. A drink that seems comforting, even helpful. But for seniors, it's a silent saboteur of sleep, brain clarity, and morning energy. Let's talk about that one nightcap many don't think twice about, but absolutely should. Mildred had a little routine. Each night, just before bed, she'd pour herself a small glass of wine. She called it her nightcap, a way to relax, wind down, and ease gently into sleep. And for a while, it seemed to help. She'd drift off faster, feel less anxious. It felt like a comforting habit. But soon, the mornings began to change. She started waking up groggy, sometimes even confused, as though she hadn't slept at all. Her daughter noticed she was more irritable during the day. And Mildred herself began to forget small things, simple names, familiar appointments, even conversations from the night before. What was going on? It turns out that alcohol, while it may help you fall asleep faster, seriously disrupts the quality of your sleep. Here's what science tells us: alcohol suppresses REM sleep, the deep, restorative stage where your brain processes memories, emotions, and physical healing. Instead, it fragments your rest, leading to frequent awakenings, dehydration, and even nighttime disorientation, a dangerous risk for seniors who may already struggle with balance or memory. And here's the tricky part: alcohol acts like a sedative at first. That's why many seniors think, it knocks me out, it must be helping. But sedation isn't real sleep. It's more like your brain being unplugged. You may go to bed at 10 and wake up at 6, but without healthy REM cycles in between, you're not getting the healing sleep your body and mind need. Even a single drink in the evening can have lingering effects, especially in older adults whose livers metabolize alcohol more slowly. So, what's the better choice? Avoid alcohol after 6 p.m., or skip it altogether on nights when sleep is especially important. Instead, try a warm herbal drink, like chamomile, lavender, or lemon balm, all of which promote calm and help the body prepare for rest. Or choose a magnesium-rich snack like a few almonds or a banana. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation and has been shown to improve sleep quality naturally. Because here's the truth. These 8 foods we've talked about, spicy dishes, sugary treats, processed meats, caffeine, citrus, aged cheese, heavy proteins, and alcohol, may seem harmless. Some even appear helpful on the surface. But for seniors over 65, when your body becomes more sensitive and your sleep more precious, the timing and type of food you eat at night can change everything. Even one small choice can mean the difference between a night of peace and a night that leaves you foggy, fatigued, or even in danger. But don't worry, we're not here to scare you. We're here to empower you, to arm you with knowledge, and to remind you, good rest is not a luxury. It's a lifeline. And you deserve nothing less. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've uncovered. Because we're just getting to the heart of this conversation. It's a hard truth, isn't it? Realizing that something as simple as a bedtime snack, something that's always brought you comfort, could actually be silently working against you. It's not just a matter of health. It's deeper than that. It's about your independence, your peace of mind, your ability to wake up each morning feeling strong, steady, and safe. And if you're caring for an elderly parent, or grandparent, or even just a dear neighbor, that realization can bring a mix of emotions: guilt, worry, confusion, even helplessness. But here's the thing, now, you're not in the dark anymore. You're informed. You've got the insight most people never get. And with that knowledge comes power, the power to make better choices, to protect the ones you love, and to care for yourself in the way you deserve. Because sleep isn't just about closing your eyes. It's when your body heals. It's when your heart resets, your brain clears out the fog, and your immune system strengthens. For seniors, sleep is one of the most powerful medicines available, and it starts in the kitchen. So, here's what I encourage you to do, tonight: take a moment to look through your pantry or fridge. Identify just one item, one food or drink you've learned today might be harming your sleep. And replace it. Not with guilt, not with fear, but with a simple, smarter option. Maybe it's trading in that aged cheese for a low-fat yogurt. Maybe it's swapping your late-night cookie for a banana. Or choosing a gentle herbal tea over that evening glass of wine. Small steps. That's all it takes. Because better sleep leads to clearer mornings. Clearer mornings lead to safer days. And safer days lead to more joy, strength, and freedom, the things you deserve to hold on to as you age. And I want you to remember this. Growing older doesn't mean giving up control. It means getting wiser. It means learning what truly serves you, and letting go of the rest. So, no matter what your age is, or where you're starting from today, know this: it's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to sleep better, feel better, and live well. With love, with a little guidance, and with the courage to listen to your body, you can still have peaceful nights ahead. Because you're not alone. And here, at Elderly Wisdom Guide, we walk this journey together. Let's take a moment and go over what we've learned today, because each point matters. We started with spicy foods, how they may seem harmless, even comforting, but they stir up your insides and invite heartburn right when your body needs to rest. Then we looked at sugar, and how even that small slice of pie can send your insulin soaring and your sleep quality crashing. Processed meats, the bacon, sausages, and cold cuts, may pack flavor, but they also burden your heart, especially at night. Caffeinated drinks, even decaf. Sneakily keeping your brain wired when it should be winding down. Citrus fruits, so refreshing, but so acidic, they can turn a peaceful night into a painful one. Aged cheese, full of character, but also full of tyramine that messes with your dreams and your mind's peace. Protein shakes or heavy nighttime meals, meant to help, but they weigh your system down and interrupt the rhythm your body craves. And finally, alcohol, the nightcap that tricks you into thinking it's helping you sleep, when in truth, it steals your rest in the quietest hours of the night. 8 everyday foods. Foods many of us grew up with. Foods we thought were helping us relax. But for those over 65, avoiding these before bed could mean the difference between a restless night and a healing one. Now I'd really love to hear from you. Have you noticed how your sleep changes depending on what you eat before bed? Did any of these surprise you today? Let's talk in the comments. Your story might help someone else realize what they've been missing. And if this video gave you insight, clarity, or just a sense of reassurance, please give it a like. And hit that subscribe button, too, because here at Elderly Wisdom Guide, we're not just sharing information. We're building a space where aging is seen with honor, clarity, and care, where every senior and every caregiver feels supported and empowered. This journey we're on, it's not always easy. But together, we can make it wise, gentle, and filled with purpose. So, thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself tonight. Sleep deeply. And remember, you deserve peace, rest, and joy, not just once in a while, but every single night. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay well, and stay wise.